Hello everybody, this is my DVD roundup / review for the week of July 24th, 2012, or should I say movies released on that day, whatever. Now in case this is your first time, tuning in, I review 2 or 3 movies that are coming out on DVD this week. And I also tend to throw a review or 2 in the description. I'm doing 2 or 3 because I want to keep video length reasonable. I'm basing all DVD release dates on JoeBlow.com. My rating scale is between 1 and 10. Anything below 5 is a movie I don't recommend. Anything over 5 is a movie that I recommend in various degrees. Anything that's a 5, I can't make up my mind. And I will start each review by reading a brief summary from IMDb.com, because if I made up my own summary, I'd probably just stumble through it. Alright, let's get to the movies. The first movie is Silent House, starring Elizabeth Olsen, and the summary is: trapped inside her family's lakeside retreat, a young woman descends into madness. Now, I rate this a 7.5 out of 10, and I'll tell you why. I think I'm able to kind of look past some of the illogical and ridiculous bullshit because of the gimmick of this movie. If you don't know, the gimmick is that supposedly it's all one take. The whole hour and a half movie is one take. That's not true. Olsen had said that it's more like 12 minutes, but it's edited to make it look like it's one take. Either way, 12-minute takes, and the fact that they want to try to do something that some would call, gimmicky, some would call cool. The fact that they're doing it really impressed me, because you don't see movies do that very often. And that style really drew me in to the movie a little more. It's awesome. I give the movie all the credit in the world for that. Some of the special effects, like later on when shit was hitting the fan, was really some straight up Silent Hill shit, which I like. Elizabeth Olsen was great. She's a promising young actress. She does a good job with what she has here. The problem is, and this is what keeps it from being a truly great movie, is the script needs some work. Some of it is just fucking retarded, wonky. The dialogue can be really wonky. The way it tells its story kind of loses you a little bit, but it doesn't sink the movie by any means. It's still a really solid movie, so you should check out Silent House for a nice, interesting take on the kind of shit going on in the house type of horror movie that we often see. The next movie I'm going to talk about is Meeting Evil, starring the wonderful Samuel L. Jackson. And here is the summary. John is taken on a murder-fueled ride by a mysterious stranger that transforms the weak-willed, disillusioned husband and father into a desperate hero willing to go to any length to protect his family. I gotta say, I rate this, first of all, I rate this a 2.5 out of 10, which means it's practically rape. I gotta say, Sam Jackson is the only good thing about this movie. The only good thing. The dialogue is mostly shitty, but Sam does have a few good lines. Or maybe they're not even great lines, it's just the fact that Sam Jackson is a badass, so he kind of delivers them well. The plot is kind of fucking just stupid. It's silly. The whole movie is. And that would be okay. It would be alright if it was a silly movie with a silly plot. But the movie tries so hard to tell you that the world is a shitty place. It's a dark, depressing, shitty place. Which people know anyway. But the movie's just does such a crappy job at telling that. The pacing is off. The acting is off, except for Sam Jackson. Some of the cops and shit have terrible, terrible acting. There's nothing that really works in this movie. I definitely don't see it, even if you're a Sam Jackson fan, because it's not worth your time. And the final movie I'm going to talk about is an indie noir film called The Girl from the Naked Eye. I like that title, first of all. But anyway, the IMDb summary goes as so. When Sandy, a call girl at the Naked Eye, ends up dead, her friend and only ally in the world, Jake, goes on a manhunt to find out who killed her. I rate this a 6.5 out of 10, which means it's a good movie, bordering on quite good, very good, whatever. Semantics. But, yeah, it is a pretty solid indie noir. If you're looking for a modern noir movie, you've seen all the old Humphrey Bogart movies and shit, and you're looking for something new that's embraced that noir spirit, this is a good choice. It's obviously not as good as a lot of these, Bogart movies in the old noirs, but it's still a pretty solid movie. It has good visuals and pretty decent acting. What I thought was pretty interesting was it had this one scene that was obviously Old Boy influenced. There was a hallway brawl, and you could totally tell that they saw Old Boy, and they're like, hey, we want to do something like that too. Which isn't really a bad thing, because the brawl in Old Boy was pretty fucking great. The chemistry between Jake and Sandy was surprisingly nice, and there was some good fight scenes, including the hallway brawl thrown in there. But it's not a perfect movie. The bad really is that some parts are just unintentionally bad. And when I was watching it at first, I thought oh, hey, maybe they're trying to kind of embrace two tones. Like a serious noir and then a comedy. But it just, as the movie went on, I kind of leaned towards, no, they're just fucking up. They got the serious down when they want to, and they try to throw in some comedy, and it's kind of shitty. And even so, sometimes when they tried to go all hardcore, it kind of failed a little bit too. But for the most part, the movie succeeds but doesn't blow any minds. It's fun, it's moody. Like I said, if you like noir, you should watch it. And that's it for this week. There is a movie review down in the description. I hope you enjoyed it. Tune in next week when I review some other DVDs that I watch. Subscribe, add me to Twitter, send me hate mail, whatever, I don't care. And see you later.